So I want to share with you some shocking stories that come into clinic on a weekly basis, but are very normal for me on a weekly basis, because I get so upset when I hear these people's stories that it's so preventable and it needn't happen. So I'm going to talk about Karen today, who was one of my hormone clients, okay? Came to see me because she was suffering with extreme PMT, to the point where she just couldn't even get out of bed. She was so depressed, so low just before her period. Marriage was in trouble because they were fighting all the time. She was screaming at her kids. She said she didn't even want to be around her kids. She was even thinking of leaving. This is all very drastic, and she was at her wit's end, like many of my clients are, thinking there was no other options. She'd spoken to her GP and had hormone tests done, and all were normal. And she kept going back, and it's been going on for a year and a half, and had been getting worse recently. Hormone tests were normal. She was considering HRT, but she didn't feel like that was necessarily the answer either, and she was worried about starting it. So we did a number of functional labs, which are different to the normal labs you get done at your GP, because they look at a wider range of details and information, and then create a more of a 360-degree picture. I started her on some really basic advice because she was so overwhelmed with life. Doing too much too soon, I knew, was just going to swamp her and she'd fall off the wagon. So we changed 3 things. I gave her some very simple guidance on food, certain things that she was to eliminate and reduce down in her diet, things like caffeine, things like gluten, things like dairy, and we just started there. And that felt like a mountain for her. But I said, look, give me 3 weeks. If you can do this for 3 weeks, I know you will feel better come your next period. Sure enough, bit of resistance, but I checked in with her and she said, I am doing it. First month, she was like, yeah, I've not been perfect. Like, I'm just really struggling here. I said, look, let's just stick it out. Next month, try and be as close as you can to getting those things out your diet, and start on a few supplements, very, very simple supplements I started her on. I also made her prioritise eating more protein, because as a busy mum, she wasn't prioritising enough food. She was worried about her weight as well, that she'd been struggling to lose, but I assured her, if you eat more of the right foods, you will lose weight. So got her eating more protein and healthy fats, and got her eating more regularly. Anyway, check in after 6 weeks after I first seen her. She was doing substantially better. Her mood was better. I'd even had a conversation with her husband, who'd come in on one of her appointments with her, and he said she was like a different woman. Fast forward 6 months, she is now so much better. No more erratic mood swings, feeling much more level-headed. She's got a much more kind of clearer understanding of what foods really hinder her and which ones support her. And she's taken her health into her own hands without the need for HRT. She now understands that her lifestyle plays a massive impact. And when I say lifestyle, this is the amount of sleep she's getting, the amount of food she's getting, and how regularly she's eating, whether she's exercising enough. These are all things that are really important for health and don't get discussed enough. It can be too easy just to easily put someone on HRT or a tablet of some kind. And it's a bit like sticking a plaster over a cut and just hoping the wound is going to basically stop bleeding underneath. You have to look at the root cause. And this is what I'm super passionate about. And these are the sort of things that I want to encourage people to do. Looking after your health needn't be difficult. You can start anywhere. I do a number of kind of entry-level programs, whether that's just a 3-day reset where it just helps get you in the mindset of what you need to do, or whether that is a 7-day food plan, for instance, or something a bit more robust. If you've got any questions or unsure where to start, reach out and I'd be more than happy to help. All right, take care.